sounds nobody's ever heard of. I know. They're more brutal. I got it. But this is Gojira. And they open up the Olympics in grand fashion. Decapitated Marie Antoinette kind of is the opener. People were beside themselves about that. I didn't really care about it one way or the other. That didn't seem to bother me. I was like, I don't know if I care about it. Here's a little bit more Gojira. That didn't really bother me. And the flames and all of that, I was like, well, I mean, it's a metal show. And so, yeah, a little flame, a little explosion, a little this, a little that, a little headbanging. Okay, all right, I'm all about it. I'm okay with it. I was surprised when I first heard they were doing it. I thought somebody was joking with it. I thought somebody was screwing around. And I was like, oh, that'd be really funny. And somebody said to me, no, dude, that's happening. That's happening. And I was like, it is? Like, they're going to... These guys are going to play the opening ceremony? Because again, man, they're aggressive. They're metal. And I like it. I'm a fan of it. But you just don't think of Olympics and metal. But see, that is an American viewpoint. If we're going to be honest about this, this is an American viewpoint. Metal fans, when I say this, are going to go, well, he's right. And I think a lot of people who aren't metal fans may be shocked by it. America is the least metal country on the face of the planet today. By far. Not close. Ask any metal musician. They'll tell you, oh, dude, you think America likes metal? No, America likes Iron Maiden. Like, America doesn't like metal. They like Iron Maiden. Different. Travel the world. Baby, they like metal. It's a bigger art form around the world than it is here. Here it's noise and cats being strung around and thrown at trees. Right? Like, that's what it is. Around the world, it is a giant art form. Massive. Watkin's always been bigger than any metal festival we have here. That's always been true. There is a thirst for metal around the world. And again, what you were seeing was an Olympic event worldwide. More countries were probably sitting there going, yeah, this is their Nickelback. Because again, they have a tolerance and a love and a fandom of metal that a lot of people in this country don't have. It is not the dominant musical format in this country. Now, I don't even know if metal's the dominant musical format across the world, but it is more accepted. It's less problematic. It's more mainstream in other areas than it is here. And what America does is look at an event that we get to watch and go, why isn't this what we were looking at? That's what a lot of people were looking for, and they have a love of Gojira. Now, having said all of Super Bowl, and I have said in years past, oh, quit crying about who plays the Super Bowl. It's not always our turn, meaning rock fans, right? It's not always our turn. Everybody gets what they're looking for, fair. But it's been years since a rock band has played it. Years since that's happened. If Gojira can open up the Olympics... Okay, here's why I'm digging my heels in. I was once told I was insane for saying Nine Inch Nails could play the Super Bowl halftime show. Too heavy, too crazy, too this, too that. Trent Reznor was voted Artist of the Decade by Rolling Stone. Of the decade! Think about what was going on in the 90s. Nirvana! He was voted Artist of the Decade for the 90s. He can't play the Super Bowl halftime show? And I think Trent actually makes all the sense in the world. Because the songs are great, and by now it's grocery store music, right? God, money, I'll do anything for you. 1989, scary. God, money, I'll do anything for you. Now on your kid's iPod. Right? Like, I mean, it's like, so the songs are no longer scary like they used to be. And he, much like Prince, I think you making this about Nine Inch Nails when we all know the rock band that should be playing this rock. Sure, it's about the fact that the Super, you're anti, but you've become a schmuck. And so I think the appetite and thirst for bands like that worldwide is different than it is here. Forever. And it's really one of the biggest metal festivals around the world. And people will tell you, oh, no, dude, that. I still think Trent Reznor's, Trent would bring maybe like a light show and maybe even a drone show, which we saw do really well this last weekend here in Stark County with, the start of Hall of Fame week with the balloon launch and all that. That drone show that ended up doing like the state of Ohio outline. I thought that looked great, really good. And I think Trent would maybe do some things like that. But obviously, Metallica is the more popular artist. I don't even think that could be debated, right? Metallica's bigger than Nine Inch Nails. There's no competition there, right? And we got to talking about it. I was like, well, dude, like Metallica's kind of talked about how they don't really want to be doing it. Like they don't really want to be doing it. Now, Chris reminded me of this, and he is, I would think, my biggest Metallica fan in my audience for sure. And he says, they're over it, dude. And this goes back to Super Bowl 50. It was in their backyard, Stansbury, the 49ers' new stadium, and they were passed over yet again. So as an FU, to show their drawing power, they brought a show to where the Giants play in San Francisco the night before the Super Bowl, and it sold out in minutes. James had jokingly said, we're too heavy for halftime during the show. After that, they said that they would not be interested. And if memory serves, I'm pretty sure he's right about that. I think I remember that. They've also played, I believe, before an NBA Finals. Did they not play the national anthem? I think it was just James and Kirk, right? They just went out there with the guitars and kind of did that. I'm pretty sure I have that right. They have the drawing power in the league. I understand Metallica not wanting to do it, especially if they feel like, you know what, dude, we were around. You guys thought too much of it, and it didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't want us. Screw you. We're not coming to bail you out now. I can understand that. I could maybe get it. Also, you're not compensated to do it. And I know how much money these people have, and I get it. And you're sort of right about it. What he does is take shots at you. That could have been better, could have been this, could have been that, should have been this, could have been this, could have been this. It's literally all you're doing is signing up to have stones thrown at you by everybody who's not your audience. Most people walk out of a Metallica show going, God damn, dude, they are the kings. They are amazing at this still. Because you're a fan. Bought the ticket, wanted to have a good time when you went in there. So unless they completely fall on their face, you're going to go, damn, Metallica kind of killed it. I know for sure. I went not that long ago to see him at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, with the drive even, and I was like, oh no, this was worth everything. This is like, these guys, oh my God, are they good, dude? Like, they're that good. I've only ever seen Metallica be bad once, and the performance wasn't bad, the set list was bad. That's a different thing. They thought people wanted to hear all that new record stuff way more than people did. But the performance was great. The set list was bad. That's going all the way back, I think, 2009 when Godsmack opened or something like that. That show was not great. But more often than not, they knock it out of the park. And I get people wanting to see that. I had kind of said, meaning the Super Bowl now, go back to would be the 90s. Right? We're kind of hitting that, coming back into style a little bit. And I said, well, what are you going to do? All the singers are dead. And most of the great 90s grunge singers are dead. Kurt, gone. Lane, gone. Chris, gone. Mark Lanigan, who most of you don't know, gone, but a great voice in that scene. He was the front man for Screaming Trees. If you've never heard the Screaming Trees, listen to Sweet Oblivion. Oh my God, so good. I mean, so good. Cover to cover good. I love them. Most people have never heard them. But Mark Lanigan had a great voice. Great voice. But most of those guys are dead. Now, Pearl Jam's the outlier. Right? And I said the other day, Pearl Jam is becoming America's U2. It's essentially what they are. And nobody would bat an eye.